Hey guys, it's Datsa, and today I'm actually going to be talking all about a short story of me working with some other clients. So it all started with two fellows, Henry and Habbo, and I got introduced, or I should say they introduced me to a team called Stargazer. Everything went well at first. In fact, this was kind of my dream IP. It had spaceships, planets, all kinds of sci-fi stuff, and that's exactly my cup of tea. However, there was one thing that showed up. In our first group meeting, it was all going well, 10 out of 10, we were all having a good time. There were 7 people, mind you, not including me. And they started trash talking a concept artist that was already working for them. They were saying that he was really slow, that he overcharged, and that he just wasn't getting them results. And they were in the call talking about replacing him behind his back. In my mind, I was like, alright dude, something here is a little bit goofy. But when they said Datsa will give you money for logos, I was like, heck yeah dude, let me jump on that. I want you to remember this, the idea that they are replacing their concept artists behind their back, because it'll be a recurring theme to say the least. When we started working on the logos, there were 2 big things that happened that made everything go turn for the worse. So initially, they actually commissioned me to do 60 logos, or should I say icons. And it was all fine and dandy at first. One big thing though is that Henry and Habbo were polar opposites. Complete opposites, especially in design. I remember going back and forth on each different logo with them making their own comments and disagreeing and agreeing. And to be quite frank, I remember this one time where we did 15 iterations of one single logo design of a simple factory, only to go back to the initial finished factory that we had in the beginning. Honestly, it felt a bit like we were in the Civil War right now. You know, you got 2 powering factions saying, do it this way, do it that way. You know, it is what it is. So here's the second thing, and this was a deal breaker right here. Not for me, but for the whole project. So what happened was, an investor came in and said he would invest $50,000 into the company, or should I say, the group of people. And things got really tricky, because Henry and Habbo decided to create a company and label 85% of all the stocks and shares under their name and have the other 15% be dispersed among the team. So this was actually a team of, let's just say, 7 people, if I remember correctly, not including me. So now we had 2 goofy things going on, right? So the first thing is we got the civil war between the logos. The second thing going on is we got this whole team almost falling apart just because of all this money that's being poured in. And it was at that point in time that one day they just gave me complete radio silence. The whole team, everybody, Habbo and Henry, all of them. The last text they sent to me was just a simple okay. And days became weeks and they were nowhere to be found. Until the very last moment where Habbo shot me a short text saying that they didn't actually need me anymore. They said they found a new logo artist. Interesting, just like they found a new concept artist. And they actually did pay me a day after for the work I did so far. The company Stargazer, as I said, a fake name, they actually just disappeared off the map. They went under a few new name changes, and they were never to be heard of again, at least on my end. Honestly, someone else probably knows. I mean, they probably made it through half the industry's concept artists and logo designers. So, who knows? Somebody might. And then they all lived happily ever after. I know I said I was going to be doing a redesign this week, although, to be quite frank, I've been doing a little bit of experimenting on this YouTube channel. I hope you guys don't mind. Next week, this isn't set in stone, I'm thinking about doing an artist thing on Tinder, right? So I did a little experiment on Tinder, and I'll explain that more next week. There's an 80% chance I will. But anyways, this has been Datsa, and remember that nothing awesome happens inside of your comfort zone. See you next Saturday.